Hey guys, it's Alex, back with another video. Yes, it's bright outside. I had a day off work, and so I'm filming this in the middle of the day. Actually, it's 1:37, but it doesn't really matter. Probably woke up about an hour ago, maybe. Normally when I have a day off work, I like to sleep in. It's great, I love it. But hey, there's going to be a bit of a mixture in this video. There's going to be a book, which I don't normally show books off on my channel, but it's one I think I need to show, and I got it really cheap. There's going to be new albums, there's going to be things I wouldn't normally show. There's going to be my biggest Sevens haul in quite a while. So that's a good thing. Yeah, so what's playing in the background? One of my favourite albums at the moment, I must be honest with you. This is Tracy Chapman, her self-titled album. Love this. I don't normally like this type of thing, but I really love this album for some reason. Absolutely love it. I just love this album from start to finish. It's a great album, so nice to have picked that up really cheap. Actually, I think I paid a bit more for this than I would have done otherwise a CD, but still a great little thing. I've had this a while, but haven't listened to it since I got it, so I figured I'd just throw it on. So the one book I picked up, and this is a bit unlike me because I don't normally show books, but I basically only buy music-based books now because they're kind of the only thing I feel like I would read. But this is AC/DC, the encyclopedia. It's quite a small book, but it basically just contains everything you need to know about AC/DC. Obviously starts the albums are in quite a weird order because it will go from Fly on the Wall and then it will go to Let There Be Rock, which is really weird, but there's that nice little thing to have there. Excited to give that a read. I'm still working my way through another book, so maybe I'll show off my music book collection, but who knows. If you guys want to see that, let me know. Onto the Sevens. There's only 8 here, but it's still my biggest haul in a while. And there's actually a story behind these. A girl came into the store with her collection, and my boss bought it, or her granddad's old collection, I should say. And I think it was her granddad's or her dad's or something like that. I don't remember, but she came in with it and a record and a really nice old record player, which my boss liked for himself. But why wouldn't you? And then he said if there's anything I wanted, I could just take it. So I grabbed some singles. I grabbed a couple of 12 inches that you'll see in a minute, and I grabbed 2 albums, which I'll also point out when I get to them. But this is my biggest Sevens haul in a while, so let's start off with this first one, which actually is really crackly. So I could tell that from when I looked at it. I don't know why I picked it up because I know it will come through again because it's that popular. But the song is Hotel California by the Eagles, backed with Pretty Maids all in a row on the flip on Asylum Records. Don't know why I picked it up, honestly, because it's super crackly. Maybe it just needs a clean, but I could tell it would be super crackly, so it's kind of hard to enjoy it, but I do really like that song, so I figured what could be the harm in picking that up. Next one is Funkadelics, One Nation Under a Groove, Part 1, backed with Part 2. This is incredibly clean for a single of its age. I'm really liking the work of George Clinton as of late, so figured I would pick that up, and I actually really enjoyed it. It's really good. Next one is another one I thought would be really crackly, but it's actually not too bad. Is Our Friends Electric by Tubeway Army, and it's backed with We Are So Fragile. So there's that. The next one is really crackly, but I don't know how often this will come up again because it's reggae, and reggae sevens don't come up too often. Especially from 1971. This is Dave and Ansel Collins' Monkey Spanner, backed with a dub version on the flip side, so we'll leave that. Next one is in a picture sleeve. This is Roxy Music Dance Away, and it's backed with Cry Cry Cry. Incredible, incredible song. As is Let's Groove by Earth, Wind and Fire. This is also in the picture sleeve, and it's backed with the instrumental. This next one is in the wrong sleeve, I think, because it's on the Capitol label, but it's in a phonogram record sleeve. This is A Taste of Honey with Boogie Oogie Oogie, backed with World Spin. But I really enjoy this song. I do like a bit of Taste of Honey every now and then. And the final one, also in the picture sleeve, is Real Thing, Can You Feel the Force? And it's backed with Children of the Ghetto. So yeah, some great stuff there, some great 7 pickups. Quite enjoyed those quite a bit, so great. Onto some 12 inches. None of these are hip hop 12 inches, which I kind of collect, I must be honest, but none of these really are hip hop 12s. The first one's got so much ring wear it's unreal. This is Fake by Alexander O'Neal. I do have the album that this song is on, but this is just 2 different mixes of the track. It's sort of a house mix, but it's not a very good mix, I must be honest. I'm not a huge fan of it. I do like the first mix, I'm not going to lie. The second one I'm not a big fan of, but it is backed with the song Innocence. Again, you can see the ring wear on it, but this is great, it really is, and some great stuff on here. I love it. Gotta love that song, the original at least. These next 2 came from the collection that the 7s came from. This is Street Life by the Crusaders. The album that this song is on, Street Life, doesn't come up that often, so I figured I'd pick it up. It is backed with The Hustler, so can't go wrong with that. And the next one is Shine a Little Love by the Electric Light Orchestra, backed with Jungle. And the good thing about this one is it's on white vinyl. The original one on white vinyl. It doesn't come up a lot, I know, so I grabbed it, even though it's not in the best of shape. But still plays through perfectly, so it's great. The only other thing by ELO I've seen on colored vinyl was Mr. Blue Sky, the 7. But I grabbed this just because I have Mr. Blue Sky on many, many formats already, so I figured I would pick that up. Onto the albums. Quite a mixture here, starting off with Down to Earth by Rainbow. A recent obsession of mine is Rainbow, but I quite enjoyed this album. 1979, excuse me, is the year on this. Some great stuff, actually. I really enjoy the song Since You've Been Gone and All Night Long. In fact, I love this album from start to finish, but there it is. Original inner sleeve there. Wonderful stuff. On the red Polydor label. So, is that a first pressing? I wouldn't know, but great, great stuff there. And this one, I'll show you guys. Came with 2 copies of the insert, and also came with a official merchandise store leaflet. And I'm considering just filling this in and sending it off and see if I get a reply, but I don't know if I want to risk it. But hey, there it is. Yeah, I might just try it, just for comical reasons, but other than that, I'm not really too bothered about Rainbow merch. But it's nice to have that as a bit of history there, so nice little thing. So yeah, Down to Earth by Rainbow. Next thing is one I needed to complete to come a little closer to completing this band's discography. This is the self-titled debut by 10cc. 1973 is the year on this. And it's still white. Normally white album covers don't stay white for very long when there's always this, but there it is, it stayed white. Original insert with it as well, with all the lyrics. And it's on the Blue UK record label, which a lot of their earlier stuff seems to feature on. This album is not my favourite by them. There are still some good tracks on here, because you can't have a 10cc album with bad tracks, but this one I wasn't feeling as much as the rest of their albums. Still good. Still good. I just wasn't liking this as much as the rest of the stuff I have by them. Next, Face the Music by ELO. Didn't have this one yet. Nice to see ELO making an appearance twice in one video. Really creepy back cover. Again, I wasn't feeling this album as much as the rest of their albums, but Strange Magic and Evil Woman I really, really love. And of course it's on Jet Records, because all their stuff seems to be, so there it is on Jet Records. I don't know why I showed that, to be honest, because all their stuff is on that label, but there we go. Next up is a band I've been getting into quite a bit recently. This is Bread, and this is Lost Without Your Love. 77's the year on this. I don't see a lot of Bread around in the VC. Probably why their albums don't come up a whole lot, but this one I see everywhere, so I figured I'd just grab it. There it is. All the lyrics on the inside there. This is a great album. Again, going back to that folky sort of sound, there it is on the Butterfly Electra label. But again, I don't really like acoustic based stuff, but I've been really getting into a lot of it recently, so great stuff to pick up when it's Bread, and there it is, Bread, Lost Without Your Love. Fantastic, fantastic album. This one came from the collection of the Sevens. This is Simple Minds with their album Once Upon a Time. Not the first thing I would have grabbed. No way. But I did enjoy their new album, so figured I'd go back on their discography. Their 7th studio album from 1985. Original inner sleeve with lyrics and all that. There it is. And like I said, I really enjoyed this. Not their best work. Not compared to their new album. I didn't enjoy it that much, but I still enjoyed this quite a bit, so I might pick up some more Simple Minds in the future. Next up is a 2015 release from the band Beach House. This is their album Depression Cherry. This album is sort of a homage to the Bee Gees' Odessa album, with the felt cover there. Great stuff actually, I must admit. Came with this inner sleeve, quite a simple design on this album actually, but also came with a CD version of the album, so I'll have to get around to ripping that at some point, but I guess it beats an MP3 download. It's just on standard black vinyl on the Bella Union record label. So great stuff there. Quite enjoyed this album. Again, a couple parts on it I didn't enjoy as much, but might just have to give this album another spin. But I got this out of a recommendation, so there's that. And it was cheap on Amazon, so I figured, I'll pick it up. Next up is the soul stuff. Yep, wouldn't be an Alex Spin's vinyl record haul without some sort of soul or funk involved. This is Sade's album Promise from 1985. Not her best work. I didn't enjoy this as much as her other albums, but there are still songs on this I enjoyed, like Sweetest Taboo and things like that. So again, great stuff on the... I don't know if that's the original inner or not. It just came with it, and it's on the white Epic label. So there it is. Great stuff. Of course, it's Sade. And that does mean as well, I'm now only missing 2 albums in her discography, I think. Not including her live album. I can't even get this thing back in now. There we go, I've got it. Next up is an upgrade copy of my favourite Barry White album. This is Can't Get Enough. I love the artwork. I love this album. Of course, I do like all the Barry stuff. This is from 1974. I believe it's his third album. Great stuff on here. The 11-minute version of I Can't Believe You Love Me is on this album. And it's obviously got the song Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Babe. Love it. So there it is. Some great stuff on here. This is on the Blue 20th Century record label. Nice mint copy of that. So I can't believe I have that now. A nice copy. And yeah, there it is. Can't Get Enough by Barry White. My personal favorite Barry White album. Next up, The Heat Is On by the Isley Brothers. Again, 75's the year. Great album. Sort of half and half with this. The first half of the album is very funky. The second half is actually quite soulful. There it is on the Yellow Epic label. Quite enjoyed this album. Still not my favorite Isley Brothers album, but definitely one that is worth a listen. It contains Fight the Power and Hope You Feel Better Loving and For the Love of You are all on this album. So, great stuff here by the Isley Brothers, and still a great album, just not my favorite. But still good stuff. Alright, so, the last album that came from that soul funk genre that I love to show so much on my channel, and actually an album that came from the collection that the Sevens did. So this is Disco Inferno by the Tramps. There is a bit of damage on the cover up here, as you can see, but it does contain the 11-minute version of Disco Inferno. I already had this song on the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, but it's nice to have that anyway. There it is on the green and orange Atlantic label. So yeah, really nice to pick that up. There is a few surface marks on it. It does crack and pop at certain points, but it's a great album nonetheless. Fantastic stuff by the Tramps. 77 is the year on this, and one of their best albums, definitely. I don't know if Tramps have a bad album. I haven't checked out their entire discography yet. Next album is this. Yep, I finally got around to picking up the 2017 reissue of Pearl Jam's 1991 release, 10. Good stuff on this album, I must admit. There is not a point where Pearl Jam goes wrong, and this is a great sounding reissue. I wasn't going to wait around for an original because they're so expensive, and I think it was only issued in 2 countries. I don't remember which 2 though. Greece, I know, was one of them. Don't remember the other one. There's that original inner. I don't know if that's the original inner, but it's the inner for this reissue, and there it is on the custom Epic label. Great stuff actually on this album. Again, fantastic sounding stuff, and definitely worth a listen, even if you're not a fan of Pearl Jam. I mean, I'm not a fan of grunge really, but Pearl Jam is one of those bands that I just absolutely love. So if you are, even if you're not a fan of Pearl Jam, give this album a listen because it sounds great. And finally is the 2018 release. Yes, a brand new album, but this is the new release by Simple Minds. This is why I've been going back on their discography as of late and checking out their older stuff. This is Walk Between Worlds. This is the deluxe double album version, the gatefold. The only difference between this and the single version is that this contains 3 bonus tracks. So it is only 3 sides, but there is an etching on the 3rd side. There's the inner sleeves there, and this was actually the other difference is that the deluxe version's on this nice fuchsia vinyl, this nice transparent fuchsia. There's the etching. I don't know how well you can see that. You can see that kind of okay-ish. It looks okay. I think it's basically just meant to be that, but I don't know. It's on the BMG label as well. Custom. great stuff. There wasn't much difference in the price between the deluxe edition and the regular one. So you might as well go for the deluxe edition, right? If there's only like £4 difference for 4 extra tracks and a coloured vinyl and an etching, I know which one I'd go for. And a free download. So I have been listening to this a lot digitally as well, and even the digital version just sounds incredible. So definitely an album I can recommend if you are not just a Simple Minds fan, but a fan of this sort of music. I definitely enjoyed this, and this album has got me hooked on Simple Minds, so I am going back over the discography. Right, that's it. Another short video. I apologize if you guys prefer longer videos. Let me know down in the comments if you do prefer longer videos, but personally I prefer shorter haul videos. But anyway, I digress. That is it for this haul, guys. Thank you so much for checking it out. I know it seems like all I'm doing as of late are just vinyl hauls, but I promise you guys I'm going to try and do other videos other than just vinyl hauls, but for now, this is probably one of my favourite hauls so far this year, I must be honest with you. Just because of what I've got and the new release that I picked up, and you know, just great stuff. So guys, thanks so much for tuning back into the channel, and I'll see you again very soon. Peace.